Hello and welcome to another update video about Solana. Solana continues to be in this sideways range. I mean, this is really just let's say the bird's eye view we always need to take, because we're in a range. The market is moving back to back in corrective structures, up and down. And really, as I said yesterday, as long as we're in the range between 119 and 190, you could consider all of this noise. We're also pretty much in the middle of it. So, yeah, we were close to support. The market reacted, and now we are on our way up. That's expected because we want this D wave to be filled in from the triangle wave count. But overall, the market could just stay a long time in this range, and there is a downside breakout point, a breakdown point below $119, and to the upside 190. So this is key. Still tracking a fourth wave, unchanged from previous updates. And the idea is that this is an A, B, C, D, E structure. And as soon as the E wave is complete, we'd like to see a move to the upside. Now, the condition is that the $119 level stays intact. Because if we see a break below 119, then it is not an Elliott wave triangle. Okay, so it would then invalidate. Well, that would not necessarily be bearish. Short term, yes, but it would rather indicate that we maybe get this correction done a little bit quicker. It depends on when the break happens, but the idea is that in this case, then it would be an ABC structure in a larger flat correction. Also a wave 4, just would end a little bit lower. Just a different kind of structure, okay? Now let's go to the 1 hour chart, because the idea in this triangle is that we completed the A wave, we completed the B wave, we probably completed the C wave, and we're now in the D wave. And the D wave is, well, not the last wave of the triangle. There should still be an E wave afterwards, but the D wave is also a corrective structure. So what we're watching for in this D wave is that it's forming a lower high below $190, but it should go a little bit higher. In this structure, as I said, we're watching for a so-called ABC structure. That B wave is a corrective pullback, which might be complete. I'm not convinced yet. The support zone for this B wave pullback is between $128 and $139. And then we want to see a C wave rally into the region between $163 and $176. I have to say, this is not... Elliott wave basically tells us we're in corrective structures. So in corrective structures, we have to be prepared for changing and morphing wave counts. Whenever we have no 5-wave move to go by, the structures morph a lot and they are fragile. So please be aware of that. But if we go to the zoomed in perspective, you can see more clearly what I mean. I mean, we have an initial, so let's say the C wave really bottomed here on Monday, the C wave of the triangle. Again, there's a wave D and a wave E still to come. Then this is an A wave up of a wave D, topped, okay? We had a B wave correction. Yep, I gave you a support zone for that. The market reacted nicely, okay? Am I convinced that this B wave is over? No. Why? Because this looks a bit like a 5-wave move down. So it could just be the A wave of the B wave. Again, a B wave is also an ABC structure. And we haven't seen a 5-wave rally. And we got rejected at resistance. I mentioned that resistance area yesterday. So the price got rejected in the resistance area. Yeah, I mean, and that's already enough. And then this move down was a little bit, let's say, shallow for a B wave. So I think I'm slightly leaning towards the yellow count, in which we have an A wave down. This here was just a B wave corrective rally because it failed to form a 5-wave move. And now we come down in wave C. And that means we could test 136, but probably rather $132.77. Either way, important is that it's, as long as it's holding $128.14, we could allow for higher prices still in wave C of D. Now, in the very, very short term, you see this resistance area was respected. The market tried to push above it, but couldn't sustain above the 78.6 retracement. So unless we get one more high in white wave 1, then I could call that a clearer 5-wave move. That would be good, because then I have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Unless I see that, I'm skeptical about this white count. The white count allows for direct upside continuation. And I've added a micro support zone for the white count, which is this one here between 139.53 and 142.89. This is the you know, so sometimes a wave 1 is a 3-wave move, especially if we move up in a C wave, which is what makes these corrective structures so challenging. But I'd rather, you know, the 128 level is the more stable one. This here is just for the potential that this is a 1-2 setup based on the idea that a wave 1 is a 3-wave move. Well, if you want to bet on that, feel free to do so. I can only highlight, be careful. Any break below 139.53 would strongly indicate we're in the C wave down in yellow. So again, I would rather focus on the lower support area and be a bit careful. But if one more high forms from here, then we have a clearer 5-wave move in wave 1, and that would shift the odds towards the white count. Hope that makes sense. But either way, I'm watching for higher in wave D. Okay. The only question is, how deep is the pullback going to be? Do we do this or do we do this? Okay. And because both are possible, it makes sense to focus on the 128.14 level as key support. Obviously, any break below 128.14 would indicate that something more bearish is going on. We would need to look at the structure then, but we are still far away from that level. That's the update about Solana. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Also make sure that you follow us on Instagram and Twitter for additional content. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.